Life in the sock drawer. In a small, quiet house, there was a sock drawer filled with socks of every shape, size, and color. Among them was a cheerful pair of socks named Snug and Hug. They were a cozy, fluffy pair with a warm, soft texture, perfect for chilly nights. Snug and Hug were inseparable. They were made for each other. Every time someone opened the drawer, they were thrilled to be chosen together. They loved being warm, keeping feet warm, and feeling the world outside the drawer. At night, the socks in the drawer would chat, giggle, and share stories about their adventures. Snug and Hug always spoke of how much they loved being a pair. Laundry day disaster. One day, after being worn on a fun, muddy walk, Snug and Hug were tossed into the laundry basket for a much-needed wash. As they tumbled through the washing machine, spinning and swishing with the soapy water, they laughed and enjoyed the ride. "Hold on tight, Hug!" Snug shouted as they spun around. But disaster struck when they were taken out of the washing machine. While Hug was carefully tossed into the dryer, Snug accidentally fell to the floor unnoticed. Before he could shout for help, Snug was swept away with a pile of towels and taken to another part of the house. Hug's sad new reality. When Hug was taken out of the dryer and placed back in the sock drawer, he immediately noticed Snug was missing. "Snug! Where are you?" he called out, his voice trembling. The other socks in the drawer looked at Hug with pity. "Oh no," whispered a striped sock. Hug refused to believe it. "Snug can't be gone forever. He has to be somewhere." But as the days passed and Snug didn't return, Hug's hope began to fade. The cheerful, cozy sock became a shadow of his former self. Without Snug, he felt incomplete. "What good is a sock without its pair?" he muttered to himself. No one wanted to wear him anymore. Whenever the drawer opened, Hug watched as other socks were chosen in their perfect pairs, while he was left behind, crumpled in the corner. Hug's once bright fabric began to lose its fluffiness. He spent most of his days staring at the drawer wall, feeling lonely and forgotten. A ray of hope. One evening, as the drawer settled into its usual quietness, Hug overheard the other socks whispering. "Did you hear? The old towels were sorted today. A sock was spotted with them." Hug's heart leapt. Could it be Snug? But what if it's not him? Hug thought, torn between hope and doubt. Yet, deep down, Hug couldn't give up. "I have to try. If there's even a chance it's Snug, I have to find him." Determined, Hug waited until the house was silent. Using all his strength, he wriggled to the edge of the drawer, squeezed through a tiny gap, and leapt to the floor. It was a bumpy fall, but Hug didn't care. The search for Snug. Hug began his journey through the house, searching high and low for his missing partner. The house felt enormous to the small sock, and every shadow seemed to hide a new challenge. Hug had to dodge a curious cat, leap over a rolling toy car, and avoid getting stuck under a heavy couch. As he cracked into the laundry room, Hug felt a flicker of hope. He remembered the whispers about the towels. "If Snug is here, I'll find him," Hug whispered to himself. The laundry room was dimly lit, and the smell of detergent hung in the air. Hug climbed onto a pile of clean laundry, scanning every corner. He checked behind the basket, under the washer, and inside the dryer. But there was no sign of Snug. Just as Hug was about to give up, a soft, familiar voice called out. "Hug! Is that you?" Hug turned around and saw a small, crumpled sock peeking out from under a towel. It was Snug. Hug couldn't believe his eyes. "Snug! I found you," he cried, rushing over to his lost friend. The two socks embraced, their fabrics brushing together in a warm hug. Snug explained how he had fallen to the floor and been swept away with the towels. "I thought I'd never see you again," he said, his voice trembling. Hug smiled. "I missed you so much, Snug. I felt like half of me was missing without you." Together, they made their way back to the drawer. The journey wasn't easy. They had to climb stairs, avoid the cat again, and navigate through a maze of furniture. But they didn't care. They were together again. When they finally reached the sock drawer, the other socks cheered. "Snug is back," they exclaimed. Hug and Snug felt a warmth they hadn't experienced in days. For the first time in what felt like forever, everything was right again. A new appreciation. From that day on, Hug and Snug cherished every moment they spent together. They had learned just how precious their bond was and how important it was to never give up hope, even in the darkest of times. The two socks became a symbol of friendship and resilience in the drawer. Whenever a sock felt lonely or forgotten, Hug and Snug would remind them that sometimes, even when things seem hopeless, happy endings are just around the corner. Moral of the story: friendship is precious. Just like Hug and Snug, true friends complete us and bring joy to our lives. Never lose hope, even when the odds seem against us. Hope can lead us to happy endings. Perseverance pays off. Hug's determination to find Snug teaches us that giving up is never the answer. And so, Hug and Snug lived happily ever after, always side by side, ready for whatever adventure life had in store.